Hi, everybody. Good evening. And this is another part of the Growth on program. The first, in fact, the personality makeover. So, what do we mean by all this? So, as I told you, this is a 10P framework, and each will have one P. So, 10 strategies you need to follow. So, the first thing is personality makeover. What do we mean by that? Whatever personality you have right now, that already has some strength and some weaknesses. Every strength, for that matter, comes with a weakness. So you have to accept your strength as well as weakness. Certain weaknesses are troubling you right now, and we need to get over that. That is why we call it as a personality makeover, because the moment you transform one of your negative element into positivity, another of your personality strength will come up to the fore, and because of that, another negative side will be coming up. Whether you will be able to balance that according to your own personality is the question. Because as it is, you are perfect. But since this is the world, we know, and you also know, this requires us to be a certain way. And we are bothered about that because we are dependent on those conditions, right? We will not be dependent after some time. But for now, we need some changes to get some confidence. That is why personality makeover. I hope this is this helps you, and we will continue in the next video. Thank you. In progress. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the next part of this personality makeover. And let me share the screen with you, with which we'll be talking about the personality makeover. So, if you can hear me and see me properly, then you can always give me a thumbs up in the chat or say one, right? So, the main blueprint is like this. As you know, we start with our difference of personality, how we are uniquely standing out at the moment. Then we prove with that, those kind of characteristics, we will prove our resilience. And then with that resilience, we'll create trustworthiness and influence people with that. And the fourth is, that is how we achieve significance. So the whole exercise is to achieve significance at workplace or otherwise. Whether we are with some position or not, we will have some significance. People will know us because of certain characteristic. You agree with that? So this is the entire blueprint, and what we will achieve is we will grow as a leader. The moment you become a leader and grow as a leader, you can take the responsibility of another person as well as your own responsibility as well. You are not emotionally dependent on somebody else. Of course, you will be taking help of others, but you are not emotionally dependent on anybody else. And what stands out and what makes the difference is the amount of mindset, attitude, habit, action, and perception. These are the four elements of the mindset which will create a difference, even though another person is similar to you or equal to you in capabilities, skill, and other things. So There are three kinds of things that we deal with. One is the mindset, which is the AHAP method, as I say. The second is the skill set, which you uh, uh, call as difference, resilience, influence, and prominence. And the third is the tool set. Tool set is the leadership growth formula, which will be reading the 10P strategies. The 10P framework is the tool with which we will be reading this. Hope this helps and you are very clear about this. So, welcome you to the third video of the sequence. We just now have covered about the toolset, mindset, skill set, and what is personality makeover. The third is, can we set us apart? Yes, of course, because we are born unique. We just it is so that we don't know about ourselves. So the first thing, as we just learned, that it is about the difference. How do we make the difference? Is a kind of question you can ask, self-questioning, baseline exercise. Who I am, how much I mean for myself, what is my worth, who value me, do I value myself, what value I am giving to the world, do you love yourself, are you satisfied with what you are earning, how much time are you giving to your family, are you really happy with your life? So all these questions uh, will help you to understand, no, where do you stand. So that is the baseline exercise because you are starting out. This is what I call, where do you stand? Do you know the answer of these questions yourself? So please do make a list. And when we start with the personality traits, like say, how do we make ourselves stand apart? We will deal with the 5 personality traits, which are ocean, which means openness, conscientiousness, extraversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. So it is kind of tongue twisted. So what do I mean by that? There are two extremes to our personality. As I told you in the earlier video, every strength of yours has a negativity. What does that mean? At one end, you are the best person, at the other end, you are the most negative person. In between, you are there somewhere. So, depending on that particular scale, suppose you are more than 60% towards the curiosity person. So, then you are a curious person. Suppose you are 60% towards the consistent, practical person. So, that is how it defines. So, there is a scale it gives. So when it comes to this openness kind of, openness puts you in a creativity, creative kind of personality, which means what scale, what rank, or to what extent you are creative, or to what extent you are hardworking, or how much collaborative you are, or how much right question you ask in a team environment. What is your energy level? So these are the 5 ocean personality traits. And this comes with a test. So let us go and see what kind of test. So what is your type? So if you can see the link out here, if you can copy this and post it somewhere, it will take you to a test. Now, you are of 3 types. Either you are heart type, or you are head type, or you are body type. So there are some people who depend too much on heart. They depend very emotional they are. So if you are a giver, achiever, or individualist type, then you are heart type. Head type is the investigator, the skeptic, the enthusiast. Body type is the challenger, the peacemaker, and the perfectionist. So these are the 9 categories, and the test will tell you which category do you belong. And whatever category you belong, this is the formula to put yourself in. So if you are very emotional type, that also tells a story about you, right? And in the heart type also, which is the kind of person you are. So take this test. We will do that in the next next part of this video. And how do we evaluate our time? Take any day in your life, write down each incident during the day. What thoughts crossed your mind, positive, negative, or leftover? Some thoughts will give you a lot of no leftover feelings, good, bad. Then how do you feel now? So how much time has passed since that thought has had happened? Does some thought linger still now? What is your motivation level? So there can be different kinds of questions. This is about how do you retain your thoughts. That is basically, and what makes us feel good, elate, or very depressed is our thoughts, right? So that is why, and based on how you are feeling, you will be active that day in that way. If you are feeling very depressed, you will feel depressed, inactive, stagnant, procrastinating kind, right? So that is why this test. So, and then this second test is about this particular test. Link is there. You go to this link and it will give you some inkling about your personality. It will be either of this kind of personality. This 16 type of personality it will say, and each has um, one name, and it will give you certain kind of uh, personality, and each combination will give you a 4-letter word. That means I means your I or E. If it is there in your category, then it is introvert or extrovert. If it is T or F, it is thinking or feeling. If it is S or N, it is sensing or intuition. If it is J or P, it is judging or perceiving. So these are the 4 kinds, 16 types of personality, and each personality will be given by a 4-letter word, and each 4-letter word is defined by this. So take that test, and out of those 4 tests, once you are defined as, suppose it is ESFP. ESFP means um, S means sensing or intuition, which means the positive potential will be this: pragmatic, confident, assertive, result-oriented, resourceful, organized, opinion on facts, imbibes high standards, cooperative, and hard driving. The negative, on the other hand, does not see long range, status seeking, self-involved, acts fast than thinks, overlooks details, domineering, lacks trust in others, arrogant. So these are the S. Let us move to the next slide. So we have taken ESFP. So E means positives are intuitive, original, imaginative, creative, broad-gazed, integrative, observant to interrelationship, charismatic, idealistic, intellectually powerful, and negative potentials will be unrealistic, impractical, far out, overlooks key factors, scattered or devious, avoids details or dogmatic, fantasy bound, long vision, short in action, documented. So Everything, as I said, has a positive or negative thing. And the next is judging or perceiving. So, since we have taken ESFP, P means perceive. The positive characteristics are strives for completion, develops systems, thorough, solid, dependable, persistent. Negative is impatient to reach closer, premature, cannot operate outside of systems, inflexible, dogmatic, overbearing. And F, F means feeling. Feeling means empathetic communication, persuasive, spontaneous, introspective, draws out feelings of others, perceptive, aware, loyal, increases cooperation and teamwork, attentive to people and feelings, progressive, over-reliant on gut feelings, manipulative, impulsive, unpredictable, feels persecuted, overtly intrusive, jealous, gossipy, judgmental, steers of conflict and distrust, more concerned with process. So these are the ways you can perceive your personality type. So what we covered here? We covered personality traits and personality type, right? So these are the two, and let us proceed to the next video. Welcome to the next video. Thank you for watching. Let us go to the next video. Now, the next is about the next test, which is, here is the next link for having your test, and it will give you doing, feeling, motivating, thinking. There are several kinds of creativity that will give you, and those will be defined under these four categories, and it will give you a certain 5 criteria, and it will be very interesting once you go with this test. So that is strength test. The next is weaknesses. As soon as you get the strength, you will get weaknesses also. So write down what are those weaknesses. Patterns of behavior. How do you associate? Uh, gives collect some instances of patterns of behavior. Self-questioning after the exercise. So after the exercise, you start questioning yourself as to which part of me do I like the most? What is that I still do not like? Which part of me do I like the most? Do I intend some action on that? If yes, you can list out those. So this will require a journal to be maintained because this is a constant exercise. And the next is the what if, the power of what if. So there is a story. One nurse in Australia, she had been watching many patients, dying patients who are about to die. She attended to a lot of them. And many of them, above 99%, 99% of them were regretting the fact that they were not able to do something which they should have done. So, what are those questions? Are you asking those questions right now? What if I don't give up now? What if I'm not afraid? What if I believe more in myself? What if I chose love over fear? What if I did not know? What if I reached out for help? What if I trusted my intuition and followed my own path? So, here, when it comes to intuition, I remember one story, one fact about me. Can I share this? So, I hope, I assume that you are giving me permission to share. So, whatever intuitively comes to me, I don't have any circumstances, any logic, why I follow them. Just I follow them because it feels right. So when it feels right, I follow them. And so many people ask me why I followed that, because I don't have any reason. Just apart from intuition, I always fumble, right? But after, say, it takes 6 months to 6 years for people to realize. So the recent one was beekeeping. I started beekeeping in the year 2011 without knowing why I was doing. Because right now, I'm my larger vision is to work for global calming, cooling, and greening. This is about reduction of carbon emission. This is about making the world more greener and reducing the comparison, competition, and conflict in this world. So that is my larger vision. How do I connect beekeeping with this? Just recently, I have started reading about COP26 and COP27. You know, beekeeping is one of the very important aspect of risk mitigation or adaptation in the context of global warming. So I didn't know all these technicalities way back in 2012. Still, I started doing that. So it requires 10 years for people to accept what I start doing intuitively. So, so if I would have listened to those people that because it was my boss who was stopping me from doing that, and those bees, Serena indica, is one of its own varieties which is found in the mid India, and it is a low flying bee and very small, Serena indica, and locally it is called Satgaria, and it is confined to that area only. So very unique. It might become extinct if not kept that way. So that was my instinct. So what if I wouldn't have followed my instinct? So do follow your instinct, whether there is some logic or not. And yes. So what if? So read out all these what if in your area. What if I trusted my intuition and followed my own path? What if I believed that anything is possible if I just kept trying? This is a message for me. What if I let go of external validation and approval? What if I approached challenges with curiosity instead of defeat? What if I let go of the past and focused on the present moment? What if I focused on progress, not perfection? What if I asked for help and support when needed? What if I challenged the negative self talk that held me back? What if I learned to set boundaries and prioritize my needs? What if I found joy in the journey, not just the destination? So many of us lose our time just because we are conforming to what others are saying, what the world is saying around. We are not following our intuition anymore. So if we are that kind of person, so before any achievement happens, just try following your intuition, whatever your heart is saying. That will give you a huge personality makeover, and everybody will know you to be a very sophisticated person. Even if your educational background doesn't back you up with that, it doesn't matter, because your common sense, your sense, your connection with the entire world is enormous, which is a huge factor. You do nothing extra, just change your mindset and you get here. Can you get this? Hope this helps, and do please apply this. Let us meet in the next video. Welcome to the next video, and we will be discussing about what you will be once you complete this course. So, you start being a protagonist, then you cover the phases of thought magician, pioneer, crusader, cruising captain, deep work dynamo, storyteller, shining signatory, summit ranger, and game changer. Ultimately, from protagonist to game changer is the journey. Now, the other stages might or might not happen one after the other. It might be simultaneous because many of the characteristic in those uh, personalities makeover that we are doing will be very, very similar. So the characteristics are no overlapping in many of the cases. It doesn't matter, right? In any case, you will be developing few of the qualities of each category little by little to get to the game changer state. Game changer means the evangelist. So the entire journey is described as protagonist to evangelist. So let us see what does this mean. A protagonist is one because you have come here learning, starting out to learn. You have several thought process which is very, very cumbersome. Now, once you hear me out, you are a person, you are getting to one particular thing. Now, something comes into your mind and you have decided something in your mind that makes you protagonist. That is stepping up to the stage 1 from stage 0. And what does a protagonist do? He starts from a mess, as I just explained, finds a goal, tries some action, fails frequently. Are you the person? Looks a next door person. Nothing extraordinary about him. He just looks like any other person. No qualm about being flawed. But he is not very conscious about his flaws. He is okay. He is accepting his flaws. Dynamism sets him apart. Now he is very sure, determined to do something. Strides forward with each setback. There are lot many setbacks. Success doesn't happen in a day, but he takes a step forward despite a failure. Takes charge despite inexperience. Whether he is experienced or not, doesn't matter. He just takes up. The second personality that we talk and you might become or partly become is you become charismatic in personality. You develop empathy and your empathy is very genuine. You are very honest. Your thoughts are honest. You are creatively positive. It is not any more destructive in any way, not even to you. Connects the dot. What does this mean? This means even if you have had failures, you know why those failures happen. Relooks setbacks and re-evaluates to give new perspective. So in this context, I'll tell you a story. I thought of becoming a rocket scientist when I was a child. So everybody was talking about scientists. That time, moon people went to moon, and people are talking about going to the moon lot. So I was influenced, and I wanted to become a rocket scientist. I didn't become. I didn't even qualify for the engineering exam. I set for the engineering exam 4 times. I didn't qualify. Now that was a setback. It still comes to my mind that it was a setback. But what would have happened if I were an engineer? I don't feel for science in that way. I'm very curious about philosophy, life science. In many cases, I can I can empathize with you. What would have happened in a laboratory if I would have become a engineer? So I'm sharing this setback, and it has been a blessing. That is why I'm face to face with you. Don't you think that I was destined to be here? That is why I failed there. So in your life also, whatever failure had happened, that has happened because of a reason. Now, no matter how much angry you are for all those setbacks and why you still, still, you will start finding that connection between your failure and your purpose. That is very important. The next is the pioneer type, who is a visionary, risk taker, determined person, independent thinker, creative, resilient, passionate, adaptable, open minded, and leadership material. So, any of these qualities resonate with you? Just look at her face. She is beaming with something. What is that? Do you have that? If you have, then you are partly pioneer or completely pioneer, a pioneer kind. Would you like to be a pioneer? The next is a crusader. Now, the crusader has a lot of struggle in their, their life. So you can see from the face itself. So it is devoted to a cause, maybe positive, maybe negative, courageous, of course, very determined to execute. So I come across this kind of people lot many, because I was one of those, because I was very, very negatively charged, you know, but that didn't help. It doesn't help. But you have to adopt some of this quality, because this tenacity will come. You will never give up. You will always feel zeal to go on and on. You will have lot of tactics. No matter what, you will achieve this. Perseverance for the milestone. You will have that. Cruising captain, collaboration, communication, accountability, flexibility, positive attitude, respectful, problem solving. This is the team person. He doesn't bother about his team being in conflict or resolving conflict. He is not averse to anybody asking him a question, confronting him. So this is a team person. Are you partly that? Deep work dynamo. So these people actually save a lot of time. Now, if you see, what do they do very differently? They are very strategic, can identify a task that has fourfold result. So they do less and achieve more. For that, they take quick decisions. They are decluttered. They are quick decision maker. Uh, this has been written twice, so let us remove this. They have clear priority and so says no to fluff, no nonsense. So this is the deep work dynamo. Storytellers, this is very essential part. This is part of the communication skill everybody is lacking, and communication is not about English. Now, when you talk about a story, you will ask me that a some language is required. Yes, that language has whatever language you will need. If you can tell more with less, then nothing like it. So how do you develop that skill overnight? If you have a framework wherein all your achievements have been very strategically presented in a PowerPoint, you say one word, say, here I'm saying storyteller, and I'm explaining so much. If you have this kind of slide, you will definitely can explain a lot, right? So this kind of clarity of the challenge. So I have developed some frameworks with which you can achieve this result. Actually, some analysis also will be done and it will be given to you, offered to you, so that for every audience, at least for 5 kinds of audience, you will have 8 slides each. And each slide will tell a story. Now you become storyteller overnight. And after some time, telling those stories over and over again. Each time you will not repeat those 4 sentences. Suppose you may repeat for say 4 to 5 times. After that, you will add something of your own uh, into each story, and it will slowly it will build up. It will become more and more interesting, and with your experience, it will become more insightful as well, more inspiring as well. Slowly, it becomes part of knowledge, organizational knowledge. So you become a storyteller. You start with almost nothing, just with a framework, and then you grow to be a beautiful storyteller. It then doesn't matter whether you are speaking perfect grammatical English or not. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what you are saying. Whether you speak in English or Hindi, people will listen to you completely immersed. That is what you will become. Shining signatory, this is the person who distinguishes herself. She can become a common person. She thinks big, attracts with value, dwells uncommonly, abstracts often, sight on the moon. She, because of her sight on the moon, she distinguishes herself to an extent that a common person will say she looks just like me. Still, she is an extraordinary person. Do you dream to be such a person someday? So, this is the person you can become. Summit Ranger looks up next. Whatever stage she is looking up for another milestone. Next successful move. She plugs loopholes so that no destruction happens for her thing. The best anywhere. Invincible invader. Inflexibility. Because of her focus on success so much, reserve so much, that she is inflexible towards other things happening in life. That is the negative to a certain extent. But again, this is one characteristic as well. Makes a gang of like this. She likes to be in the company of those like her. So eventually you become the evangelist, the game changer, wherein your dream comes true. You, this person, when your dream comes true, you will find yourself practicing simple things repeatedly. That is what Bruce Lee has said. I'm not afraid of the person who knows 10,000 tricks, but I'm afraid of the person who has practiced 10,000 tricks, 10,001 tricks, 10,000 times. So these person will have simple tricks, persistence, communication, small things, but he will do it over and over and over again effectively. Does not go to complexity, uh, embraces very simplification thing, makes things happen without hype. He does it effortlessly, and there is no hype. Silent, next level, persistence to reach beyond, pulls up others to next level. So this is the ultimate that we will try to reach, and it will be reachable. You can see there is not much, just to know who we are and practicing according to whatever our type is and what we look to change. If we can define ourselves, what all needs to require to be changed, I think persistence is one, productivity is the next, and Communication is the third most important thing. So these are the three things we will be describing in full detail. As you watch, you will know, you will ask, and again we will provide, and also we will have those practice sessions as well. The links to which we'll go, we'll do in a workshop and get it done. If you can start it out all by yourself. Let us see if you can do it yourself, right? Thank you for watching.